What is up, guys? This is Jared Spalding here, and today I wanted to do kind of a follow-up to my introduction to numismatic bullion video with a video, about an introduction to generic bullion, staying on the whole bullion thing. And, I'm just going to discuss what generic bullion is if you don't already know, if you heard the term thrown around but you don't really understand it, and some differences between this and other forms of investing, and, of course, the benefits and downfalls of generic bullion. So basically, generic bullion, what it is very simple. It's non-government backed, pure silver that is extremely highly minted. I mean, for every one of these bars, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of more, at least. Because look at this, look at the serial number right there. Look at it, 6 digits. So it goes up into the hundreds of thousands for this bar alone. And they're not going to be too amazing looking. I mean, probably my best looking generic bullion piece is this one, just because the back of it is really nice looking, but they're not going to look beautiful or anything by any means of the word. But at the same time, they are an extremely cheap and efficient way to stack silver, almost as cheap as junk constitutional silver, and they are very convenient to have, and they can be used, they can be bought or sold very easily, So, in comparison to other forms of bullion, I mean, basically, these are just, going to be your run-of-the-mill pieces, as opposed to, something like constitutional bullion, government-backed stuff that might cost you a little bit more over spot, and it's going to have actually some potential to grow in that value. These are completely tied to silver. They might have a tiny bit over melt value, but it's really not much at all. Especially when you get to the bigger bars, you really don't see much over melt at all. So, what are the benefits and downfalls, you might wonder? People thinking, you seem to describe these pretty nicely, so is there even downfalls? Well, just with every form of silver there is, that's why you diversify, is to offset those downfalls. But I'll talk about the benefits first, positive surge, right? So, these bars are extremely stackable, they take up very little space because of it. They're pure silver, You don't really have to worry about them getting damaged too much, because if they do, who cares? I mean? Like, if they got milk spots or something, it wouldn't really matter anyway. And, if they get scratched up, you can kind of toss them around, abuse them a little bit, because it doesn't really matter. Let's see, they are going to help you a lot in a situation where the price of silver booms, because they can be really easily sold. They'll be more desirable than something like, a numismatically valuable constitutional coin, right? Because, those are going to be in low demand because everybody's trying to buy silver for the amount of silver that they can get. And so with something like this, you could easily sell them off in that situation. They're always going to be easily bought or sold. They're really good to have on hand in case you need some quick cash. Because something like a coin, it's going to take you a little while to find the right person, but anybody will give you, the proper value for this pretty much. So, basically they are really good bars, or really good things to have. But you might be wondering, where are the downfalls then? Well, for one, being tied to silver is kind of a downfall also, because in a silver price collapse situation, like what we saw, in 2008, 2009 period, we're at the end of a bubble, which I guess that was at the end of the bubble technically. So, any situation where the price collapses, they're going to be extremely low demand. They are going to lose a lot of value because of that, and, they're basically, it's going to take a little while for the price to recover. And so, in that situation, their benefit of being easily bought and sold is going to kind of die because of the fact that no one really wants to buy them anymore, so they're not, the easily sold part is going to go away. They're going to be extremely easily bought, because everybody's going to want to sell them. I mean, well, maybe not everybody because of how low the price is, but people will want to try to get rid of them because there's like no demand for them. So, people will be happy to find a customer, but selling them is not going to be too easy because it's going to be so tough to find one. And, I mean, they don't retain any kind of real, value. They never have the chance of gaining other kind of value beyond their silver. But other than that, they're really not too bad to have. I mean, it's definitely something that's easy for a beginner to get into, very accessible. And yeah, that's basically it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. Peace, love, and much respect.